Meshak Yebei was under the protection of the ICC Witness Protection Program. That means he was out of the country and out of reach of any Kenyan authorities or any Kenyan people involved in those cases who would have wanted to harm him. And initially, he was a witness for the prosecution against DP Ruto. Okay? But however, according to the ICC, they later changed their mind about presenting him as a prosecution witness. Why? The ICC said he was interfering with other witnesses, and therefore they did not trust him to be a reliable witness. So he was dropped from the list of witnesses by the ICC themselves. Now, this other bit of information is very interesting. Yeah? And by the way, remember, and I'm going to come to that in a minute, Meshak Yebei was murdered. Okay? And he was murdered in Kenya. Okay? But let's go on to what I was saying. Later, one of the lawyers to DP Ruto at the ICC, Abwana Khan, yeah, told the press and told the world that actually Meshak Yebei was a defense witness. In other words, Meshak Yebei started out as a prosecution witness and ended up as a defense witness. Those are the facts, according to the authorities involved. Now, in December 2014, Bwana Yebei was probably feeling very homesick, yeah, and after all, his wife was 8 months pregnant, so the man decided to come back to the country. We can speculate that perhaps because he was a defense witness, he probably felt he was safe enough, at least safe enough to visit his family. Now, on December 28th, 2014, Bwana Yebei took his wife to hospital. Yeah, she was not feeling well, so he took his wife to hospital somewhere in Eldoret. Now, as they were waiting to see the physician, the child started complaining of some pains. So what did Mr. Yebei do? He walked out to a nearby chemist to try and get something to ease the pain of the small child. He never returned. 3 days later, a very badly mutilated body was recovered in the nearby River Yala. That body was positively identified by members of the family as the body of Meshak Yebei. But that's when the drama started. Another family, yeah, came out from the blue from nowhere and claimed that the body was actually that of their loved one, a tout who had also been reported missing. Now, very fascinating, one of the ways that the family of the late Yebei were able to identify their loved one was that, the Kalenjins have circumcision customs, yeah, and their men are circumcised in a certain way, and therefore they said that from the way he was circumcised, they knew this was Yebei. And not only that, there were some certain birthmarks on his body, yeah, identified by his wife and other loved ones. But now here was a family claiming that the body was that of their loved one. And indeed, tests which were done later, DNA and fingerprints, positively proved, yeah, that actually that was not Yebei, it was somebody else. And the body was taken away by the other family for burial. But the high wire drama was yet to come, because on March 4th, yeah, a body which had yet to be identified, which was lying at the Voi hospital mortuary, proved through DNA and other tests to belong to Meshak Yebei. The said body had been recovered from the Tsavo National Park. So the immediate question, yeah, if this was really the body, and we have to believe it was the body because various tests were done, DNA, etc., that positively identified this body. The question was, how did a man who was walking out to a chemist to buy some medicine end up, walking out to a chemist to buy some medicine in Eldoret, end up at the Tsavo National Park? How? What happened? To date, that mystery has never been solved. And so, the remains of the late Meshak Yebei Yebei were laid to rest, and it is said that the Kalenjin community pronounced a curse on his killers. Yeah, and they promised everybody that this curse would catch the real killers within no time. Well, now we're in the year 2018, and that is yet to happen. But maybe, just maybe, the Ides of March is here, but it's not yet over. Just maybe. What do I mean? I mean that somebody can tell you something will happen very soon, okay? And interpretation of very soon could be 2 to 3 weeks, or it could even be 6 to 7 years, or even longer. Yeah. So people, languages are complicated, especially English is very difficult. So very soon, maybe the person who uttered those words meant a few years. Anyway, that is the position with the late Meshak Yebei. And this case, this Yebei very, very gory murder, illustrated the fact that the ICC cases, the Kenyan ICC cases, were a very bloody and messy affair. You know, the ICC witnesses are referred to by a number. You never know their names. So when you hear witness number 356 has been harassed, or this has happened to that witness, you know, you don't put a face to it. You don't put an individual to it. And therefore it doesn't really ring very true. It's not really realistic, yeah, to the human mind. However, the Meshak Yebei case brought the brutal picture of what was happening around the ICC cases to the fore. For the first time, Kenyans could put a name and a face, and indeed even the face of the widow, yeah, into a certain case. Until next time, this is Chris Kumekucha.